With the recent announcement of the AnyCubic Kobra 3 Max, you might be looking for up-to-date experience with its regular size variant. Could the Kobra 3 Combo or its new Max variant be the ultimate multicolor printer for you? In this video, I'll take you through everything from unboxing to fun prints to see if this machine is worth our time and money. Stick around for tips on optimizing multicolor printing along with my honest thoughts on its strengths and weaknesses, and to find out the reason behind this contraption next to me. All through the eyes of someone who mostly uses Sovol 3D printers. For those of you who are new here, my name is Gergo, and welcome to Gergo Print 3D. This is my channel where we explore the world of 3D printing and laser cutting, often with my little nephew. Thank you, Sovol, for the Thanksgiving cups, by the way. As always, chapter markers and translation-ready subtitles are available to make navigating this video easier. Back in September, rumors were flying about a new Sovol Ace device. From the name Ace, I was hoping it would be their long-awaited multicolor add-on. Around the same time, geekbuying.com reached out with an offer to review one of their printers. Anticipating a color add-on by Sovol, I asked Geekbuying to send me the AnyCubic Kobra 3 and Color Engine combo, aka Ace, so I could compare the two. But when Sovol's Ace turned out to be an upgraded SVO6 instead, the Kobra 3 Ace combo became my first and so far only multi-material printer to date. Spoiler alert, this 3D printer has a lot to offer, but also made me appreciate one aspect of my Chidi and Sovol's even more. The unboxing and assembly process was child's play, literally. My little nephews did most of the work with just a bit of help from me. Everything was neatly packed and easy to set up right out of the box. The gantry came pre-assembled, so we didn't even have to attach that. Securing the print head was easy enough, though we had to fiddle with the Teflon tubes between the Ace unit and the printer. There I helped more. The build quality is robust, and I was impressed by the build volume to device size ratio. Chidi could learn from this. However, cable routing could use some improvement, especially with the add-ons like the Ace module or the camera mount, which should both connect to the back or side of the printer instead of the front, as many others have suggested. The first time we turned the printer on, it failed to boot properly. However, instead of providing a written error message on the screen, it just beeped repeatedly. After a few attempts, we realized that the USB Type-C extruder control cable wasn't plugged in firmly enough. Once adjusted, everything worked perfectly. This printer is surprisingly quiet. It's on right now next to me. The fans and motion system barely make any noise, even during operation. Let's talk about its standout feature, multicolor printing. Yes, you know I'm into multiple colors, even when it involved manually replacing the filament. I've shown it in multiple videos. A multi-material printer like this takes that to the next level. When changing from one color to another, this printer and its color engine work seamlessly together. It's actually quite satisfying to watch. The print head moves left to push the filament cutter handle. Then it moves right to engage a magnetic purge tray. The Ace unit unloads the old filament. Then we can see the new color being pushed into the extruder. Enough filament is purged through the nozzle until the new color appears in the lovingly called poop. Part cooling revs up to solidify this waste. Before the print head moves to resume printing, the magnet is released and the poop is ejected by the spring-loaded mechanism, just like a slingshot. Adding a poop bucket is our responsibility. I will probably come up with some nicer laser cut solution. Depending on the purge amount setting, which is somewhat hidden in the printer menu, this process may repeat a second time to ensure no color contamination. I was surprised how seamless and reliable these color changes were. I haven't had a single failed change in over 2 weeks of testing. But multicolor printing can be extremely wasteful if we are not careful. Purged filament adds up quickly, especially with prime towers. To optimize this process, print multiple copies at once, since purging overhead remains constant across copies. Flush into infill layers where possible, or use flush objects strategically in your slicer settings. For simpler designs like this Jordan coin print, orient models so color changes only occur on the top and bottom layers. Here, I was able to get away with just 7 color changes. Or, in the case of this Luther heart pendant, it required only 4 color changes. Even if you're not planning to print full color figurines, the material changer makes dual or triple color prints, which were possible manually, so much more convenient and automatic. But we got ahead of ourselves. The first steps after assembly are the initial calibrations, and this printer handles them all automatically. Z-offset calibration, bed leveling, input shaper resonance tuning, you name it. Fantastic for beginners with no manual adjustments needed. There's even an option to request these calibrations before every print, a very useful feature when preparing for larger projects. Filament runout detection is another lifesaver that works well. It pauses prints automatically and even refills spools if you're using multiple rolls of the same color. However, AI fail detection can be a hit or miss. While it saved me from wasting material on a few failed prints, false positives caused visible artifacts on paused layers where we resumed printing. Be sure to orient the printer and camera so it doesn't pick up movement behind it. And interestingly enough, phone camera lights seem to trigger false detections too. I ended up turning off AI detection for prints I filmed. But again, we rushed ahead a bit. The camera required for AI detection, remote monitoring, and time lapses isn't included with the printer. Quite curious, given how little extra cost it would have added. I ordered AnyCubic's official add-on camera, but printed a custom mount instead of using the model their webshop suggested. This one by Darren 3D Print is far more adjustable, although cable routing remains quite messy. I also printed a personalized version of DocDoCAD's fold-out screen cover to protect against dust and accidental touches, and went even further by designing and printing a complete system of dust covers for the rails and V-slots on all 3 axes. Please watch the second half of my last video about nozzle replacement on Sovol printers, where I show you the complete design process for these covers. I use my bigger printer, but these can all be printed on the Kobra 3 itself too. For open frame printers, these dust covers are a must-have in my opinion to protect the exposed and greased rods, rails and wheels which pick up dust so easily. They are a simple upgrade that will save you a ton on maintenance. The last simple modification I've designed is this guard that snaps on the right side under the bed and prevents filament waste from getting under the y-axis wheels. This issue occurred during my first attempt at printing the Santa hats, causing a terrible layer shift. I've now included this y-axis guard in the same CALS 3D project with the dust covers. Link below those like and subscribe buttons. If you like what we are doing, please consider using them along with the little bell so you don't miss any of our updates about this and my other printers and projects. Thank you if you already did. The printer is relatively small, but with the ACE unit, it still needs much space. Where am I going to put it? We initially assembled the printer in my office on the fold-out table I use for all new devices, but finding a permanent place in my studio room is becoming more and more challenging. To reduce the footprint, I ended up raising the ACE unit over the printer using a small table and placing the printer itself on the floor, or just a little bit higher than floor level. I don't think I can fit another printer in here, but I thought that too before adding the Kobra 3. It's crowded, but every device here can be operated, and they each have their own special purpose, set up with various size nozzles from 0.2 to 0.8 millimeters, and closures for ABS printing, and now the ability for multicolor with this new addition. Now on to the softer situation. The Orca derivative AnyCubic Slicer Next is intuitive and beginner-friendly. It's well integrated with the ACE module for seamless material setup and color matching. I must say its presets are much better tuned and run smoother than any of my Sovols or even the Qidi Q1 Pro. And cloud printing features like mobile app notifications on AI spaghetti detection and print completion are very convenient. The ACE module's color matching system in the slicer is straight out magical. It makes setting up complex prints a breeze. There is a learning curve, and I plan to make some tutorial videos about creating and coloring prints for a filament changer. Overall, this is all great for beginners. But here's where things get tricky. AnyCubic tightly controls this software ecosystem. Currently, they keep it up to date and in sync with the latest features of the mainline Orca slicer. But how long can we expect this support to last? We need to sign into their cloud printing service, which only works in a single instance of the slicer. I'm missing the ability to keep multiple slicer windows open. There are Orca profiles, but wireless access is limited to their own slicer. And while the printer uses a modified version of Clipper internally, it does not provide a standard web interface like Mainsail, leaving advanced settings like ABL mesh data, temperature, and input shaper resonance graphs inaccessible. For advanced users who enjoy tweaking printer CFG files or adding macros, this will get frustrating quickly. And without access to internal data, it is impossible for me to give you objective comparisons to my more open printers. That said, the hardware design is solid overall. Quick assembly, consistent first layers, easy to access belt tensioning knobs, and I'm loving the coupled Z columns that eliminate gantry calibration issues. What do you think? It even looks a little bit like my ultimate upgrade to the T300, right? Print bed and nozzle both heat up quickly, and part cooling is strong enough for high quality prints. Motion system is fast and tight, and the color engine can not only feed from 4 spools of filament, but it is also capable of drying them at the same time. I have one gripe though. I've encountered persistent bed adhesion issues even after trying cleaning methods with dish soap and isopropyl alcohol. The PEI sheet is double-sided, which is a positive, but it feels thinner than what I'm used to on Sovol printers, and its magnetic hold doesn't feel very strong either. We'll get into test prints in a sec, but I think my issues with the prime tower stem also from here, which is usually placed in one of the corners with the worst bed adhesion. The temperature distribution seems uniform enough, but without access to a simple bed mesh graph, I don't even have the proper tools to investigate the cause any further. Still, the results speak for themselves. My first print, a 14-minute 3D Benchy that came pre-sliced on the USB drive was surprisingly high quality for such a quick job. I printed these planetary gear models, which rely on well-tuned clearances. They turned out great, too. Multicolor prints like the Pikachu figurine came out vibrant despite hundreds of color changes. The slight color cross-contamination you see is due to my attempt to lower the purge amount to just 0.4. The Pokemon ball, where we went back to 0.7, turned out much better. Here, we experimented with eliminating the prime tower. I disabled the tower after the Herculean, or rather say Sisyphean struggle, trying to keep it standing during previous prints. Another educational print was this duck head headphone hanger, which I printed to replace the single color one I printed 5 years ago on my old Wanhao printer. Besides fighting to keep the prime tower standing here as well, I also ended up with terrible Z-banding artifacts. They don't interfere with its functionality, but still a shame after an 11-hour-long print that involved 386 color changes and poop weighing more than the model itself. The cause? The palm wheels on the Z-axis should have been readjusted after the first 20 or so hours of printing. We set them at assembly, but palm wheels tend to wear in during the first couple of prints. I printed a test tower before and after readjusting the eccentric knots, and it's all obvious. If you need help with palm wheels, I go into more details in this earlier video. My takeaway? The AnyCubic Kobra 3 combo offers an excellent introduction to multicolor printing with reliable automation features that make it beginner-friendly. This is my second non-Sovol printer. There is much to love, but it has me value Sovol's open source commitment even more. If you already have a printer for large or functional prints, the Kobra 3 combo opens up exciting possibilities for creative, decorative projects. If you decide to get one, geek buying is a good source, shipping quickly from local warehouses in Europe and North America, while offering great filament bundles, which you will need if you want to get into multicolor printing. Their prices are competitive, and the coupon codes in the description below will even bring them lower. You can be sure to see this printer show up in future videos, as well as my other printers and laser machines. Many of you asked for a part 2 for my Sovol SVO8 T300 nozzle video, so that is going to be the next 3D printing related video. I have one more video about my Monport CO2 laser. I hope they both are going to appeal to many of you. My GD Tech Q1 Pro aged well. Watch this video about my experiences with it. And this is also a must-see if you haven't watched it yet. These should all help you go print 3D. Signing off at the end of another Gergo Print 3D video. Have fun.